Today we're going to give you 3 buyer tips in a seller's market. Stay tuned and we'll tell you all about it. Today we're going to talk about how buyers need to compete in a seller's market. And right now we're just into 2021 and we're in a very heavy seller's market. And so what that means is that there's much more buyer demand in the marketplace than there are listings. So, when we have that situation, what we're going to be experiencing is many times you're going to have to compete for the home that you want as a buyer. And so today we're going to talk about 3 tips to help you achieve, getting a better position on your contract for the home that you want. And so the first thing that we need to do, and you hear it a lot, is that you need to get a pre-approval. And the reason that's so important is that if you start going out looking at homes and you don't have that pre-approval letter in hand, then what's going to happen is you run the risk of, when you find that house that you really like and you want to put in an offer, now you have to go to your lender and you have to work on that. And while you're doing that, there may be another buyer that is ready to submit their offer and they're completely run through the pre-approval process, and you may miss out. So the good thing is that the pre-approval process is pretty simple and straightforward. All you have to do is let us know. We can get you with one of our partner lenders. They're going to get some general information that you should have pretty much ready at hand, and usually in a matter of an hour, they can get you a pre-approval letter if everything checks out. So that's the first step that you need to make sure that you're definitely prepared for, because if you submit an offer without a pre-approval letter, the chances of you getting that in this market are very slim. So that's number one. Number two, what often happens is, I'd say probably more than 50% of the offers that we're placing right now for our buyers, they are competing against another buyer. So, when that happens, we need to make sure that we're doing everything that we can to make you as our buyer look the best that you can and resonate and connect with that seller. And one of the best ways for us to do that is with a letter from the buyer that we would have you write, and we would kind of give you, certain things that you'd want to put in that letter. We can help you construct that. And what that does is that gives you a connection potentially with the seller, so that if they are opening up 3 offers and only yours has the letter, and they learn about you, learn about your family, where you're moving from, why you love their house, anything like that, that helps have an emotional connection with that seller, that is going to help you get that contract. Certainly price and terms are important, but if the seller's reviewing 3 offers that are virtually the same, and then they have a letter from you that they can really connect with, you're much more likely to be able to get that contract over the other 2 buyers. So that's something that I think is a great tip for you to be thinking about when you're out looking at homes. Start thinking about what you would want to put in a seller letter, and certainly our team will help you put that together and present it to the seller. So that's a great tip. And then last but not least, we want to make sure that we're flexible in terms of what the expectations are with the contract. So if you can be flexible in terms of maybe the move-in date, terms of the contract, things like that, those things are going to help you put your contract in a better position with the seller. So for example, let's look at, again, we got three contracts that the seller's reviewing, and maybe they have they can't move into their house. Maybe they're building a house and they can't move into it for another 60 to 90 days. Well, if you're able to be flexible and say, hey, that's fine, we can move in 60 or 90 days, and the rest of the offers are the same, but they have a tighter timeline and you're flexible with that, guess who's going to get the contract? And so our job is, one of the first things is, once you identify that house that you want to put an offer in, the first call that I'm going to make is to that listing agent to say, hey, tell me about your seller situation. What is most important to them in a contract? Obviously price, we all know that, but the terms of, when are they going to move? What is the due diligence or earnest money deposit? Are they accepting it in as-is condition? Things like that all play a part in, when sellers review contracts, which one they're going to choose. So if we can go and before we put that contract in their hand, find out, what is the ideal situation for that seller. And as long as you're able to be flexible enough to meet those parts of the terms in an offer that you want to put in front of that seller, the more likely you're going to have a chance of getting that contract against competing offers. So those are 3 quick tips, that are just some of the things that we do. I mean, there's certainly other tips, and we'd be more than happy to talk to you about some of the other things that we do, but just wanted to give you a couple 3 just to be thinking about. So right now, if you're a buyer in the market looking for a house, these are some things that you're gonna have to have top of mind and make sure you're prepared. Quick bonus tip, make sure that you have your search set up right. So contact somebody on our team. We wanna make sure with limited inventory right now on the market that we're not getting too specific in terms of a wish list of things, because the more, deep we dig down into specifics of what you want in a house, the less it's gonna become available. And so I can't tell you how many times where we've gotten specific with a buyer and then, we say, well, look, let's change some of these parameters, and then it opens up a house that they may, not have been on their list, but now we go in and show them and they love the house. So, when you're first looking, kind of cast a broader net so we don't miss out, because like I said, we're in low inventory. There are many more buyers in the market than there are houses available. So you don't want to limit yourself. And so, we definitely recommend that let's have a conversation. Let's get your search set up right so we're getting homes. It's really hard to find 100% of what you want in a home. So, but if we can cast a little bit of wider net and say, okay, well, this home has 85 or 90% of the boxes checked for what you're looking for. That's really the key to kind of getting started. And then once we can identify some homes, get out and start looking, make sure we have that pre-approval and we're ready to put the best offer in front of that seller that we can. So hope this information helped you today. Again, if you got any questions about buying, selling, we're here to help you. We'd love to talk to you. So thanks for your time today. And until the next video, we'll see you.